Guys, we are 3 rounds into the Guinness Men's Six Nations, and before we kind of get stuck into everything, I would actually love for each of you to give me a single word to sum up the first 3 rounds of the championship so far.
Chaos.
Exciting.
Disappointing.
Well, on that note, I think we should start with England, and I think we have a few clips that actually would be really nice to kind of run through with you.
Would be really nice.
Let's fast forward through this.
So nice.
Let's fast forward through
No,
these.
we're going to focus on this for a little
Okay.
while. Yeah. So if we want to roll, would you guys agree that maybe we might struggle to see a Grand Slam winner, or
Not if you're English, I think.
Oh, wow. Really? Yeah.
Yeah, blind belief there, and blind loyalty, and
Arrogance or not?
arrogance?
yeah, probably,
for sure.
probably. You know, we were 11 games on the spin, and
We know that.
they've let us down. My boys have let me down.
They have, haven't they? Yeah.
Basically, blame Steve Borthwick. That's the end.
Where did it all go wrong? Are you fully blaming Steve for this?
Everywhere. I mean, the players need to take a massive
Yes.
amount of responsibility, like dropping balls, the shape, the errors, the discipline. There's no area of England's game against Scotland or against Ireland that you could say that was competing with those two teams.
What about in terms of, I suppose, like either the whole question is, are England underperforming or are the expectations just slightly too high? And I do think we have a clip of that as well, because I think you guys all fed back into that before we...
Oh, really?
England won't live up to the hype.
Bin it. We are the real deal.
11 wins on the spin.
It's one word,
Grand
Andrew.
Slam's coming.
One word. They will. I said 2.
I mean, you all believed a little bit.
I'd had Guinness and blackcurrant, so I don't know what I was saying at the time.
I never saw it coming. That wasn't to mean that they were going to win all the games, but to get beat how they did against Scotland and the game against Ireland, let's be honest, I don't think many people saw that coming. Ireland were going to give them a game, which they obviously more than did, but not doing what they did to them. So I think we're all with good. So we'll look after them.
Thank you,
I
James.
kind
Thank
of
you,
do.
James.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because it looks.
Don't feel bad for me.
Yeah, I don't actually.
No, yeah, I was like, do you really?
It's better when you feel sorry for someone because it makes them even go.
Yeah,
"No, I
but a
actually
little
feel really
pity,
sorry for
you
them."
know.
Yeah.
But I thought they were progressing. You know, I thought they were getting better, improving, showing a little bit more threat and attack. And after the bad performance, it's just all unravelled very quickly. And the match against Ireland, it just looks like they were completely out of their depth. So yeah,
Zeebs, you said it there. It's unravelled quickly,
Very
and
quickly.
that's sport. We get it, but to be hammered against Scotland the way that you were, they did, and Ireland as well. That's the unravelling part.
Yeah.
It's not losing them 2 games. It's in the manner in which they've done, and the fact that there wasn't a spike in energy. And the performance, arguably, was worse against Ireland than it was against Scotland at home. And that's the worry and that's the unravelling part to me, where there's a bit of confusion about what is going on here.
Yeah, a lot of humble pie been eaten, and I've eaten a lot of pies in my time.
How
But
has
the reality of it
been
is,
this the last few days?
I've been
with
okay.
humble
I've
pie?
just
You've
I've
eaten a
been
lot of
comfort
it.
eating and drinking. It's tough, isn't it? Like, no one saw that big a victory coming from Ireland. I knew, you look at that Ireland team, and Andy Farrell names his team on a Thursday, Steve Borthwick does it on a Tuesday, and there's world-class operators in that team. Admittedly, not collectively on form, but to a man, from that Ireland perspective, and the lads off the bench as well, everyone played at their peak level or above it. You know, Joe McCarthy's bullying boys. James Ryan, best I've seen him play in 3 or 4 years, probably. I think he's only lost to England twice in 11 games. Caelan Doris back to his best.
Yep.
You know, moving Crowley back into the 10 jersey, seamless in how he did everything. James Lowe was on fire for the first 20 minutes when he was on. Gary Ringrose back to being Gary Ringrose. You go through everyone. Dan Sheehan again. These are world-class operators. McCluskey at 12.
McCluskey,
Who, outside of Ireland, people are like, oh, you know, he's an Ulster boy, you know, how good is he? He was one of the best players, if not the best player on the pitch. And then Rob Balakoon on the wing.
Yeah, the
just
Ulster
doing
boys.
unselfish things, the graft, the work rate, and the X factor as well. It was Ireland's best performance for 4 or 5 years.
And
Yeah, it's just not a pinch of salt, but I've never seen England perform that badly. Like when Gibson Park got the ball from Tyke Byrne, if you look at the defensive line, there's lads walking all around the pitch, you know, in their full defensive setup, and it just doesn't scream like this is not Test match.
No.
This is not a well coached or a hungry team who is proud of defending their line. I was astonished, and I think it was Joe Hayes, was it, the only guy who made somewhat of an effort to try and chase back Gibson Park. So they were miles off. Ireland were accurate and very intentful, played with a lot of passion. But yeah, bit of a pinch of salt, just how bad they were.
Because it was the body language from the English guys as well. And I think for Ireland, it was almost like they just were in this flow state, which was just so exciting to see. But I suppose for England now, like, you know, what questions have to be answered and addressed in this, I suppose, gap week?
Yeah, a lot. England had a plan A and we went on this run of 11 games where a lot of it was based around the kicking aerial contest and winning that, and then winning the scraps. You go back to the November series, beating New Zealand and Australia. We scored a couple of tries off winning tapbacks, which happens, right? But we haven't been able to go to a plan B when that doesn't work. So it didn't work against Scotland. We put 14 contestables up, won 4 of them. But then there's no way of thinking, actually, we need to go to plan B. It's just still do the same thing and hope. Played a lot of frontline rugby, not using the options out the back. There were so many opportunities against Ireland at times. We got into the 22 more than Ireland did in the game, in the stats, when you look at the stats. But our conversion rate was pathetic at times. And that comes from options, it comes from confidence, it comes from error rate, it comes from discipline, and it comes from a coach and a fly half seeing the bigger picture, which neither of them did. Having no plan B to go to and being able to execute that, there's so many questions about what England should do.
Yeah, and selection as well. I think there's a few calls that need to be made. I think George Ford has probably, you know, warranted a place either out of the squad or definitely on the bench. You know, you can't reward a performance like that. I'd like to see George Furbank brought in. Someone like Max Ajomo or some players who are showing form with their club, because they're in a bad spot, but they need to change. They can't just continue and on the path they're going.
Jim?
That's where England fans will know how good Steve Borthwick really is. It was challenging when he first came in, and like we've all alluded to, they went on that really good run. We were talking about them as favourites with France for the championship. It's only been 2 games, but he's going to have to make some tough decisions now. George Ford has been his boy, he's been his man. They've spoken about how important he is as like a coach on the field. Next England coach, could he actually coach England from the field?
Where was the coach on Saturday?
Yeah, I know, but you, on the flip side of that, you look at Andy Farrell has made them big decisions around 10, which has been an uncomfortable process for everyone in Ireland, whether you're Leinster, whether you're Munster, whether you're Crowley, whether you're not, you're Prendergast, and he's had to make a decision where at the beginning of the tournament he backed Sam Prendergast, hasn't worked, a must-win game, where he was talking about the players earning the respect of their teammates. It wasn't about winning and losing, it was about the performance. And he's got experience, Andy Farrell has, and he's made some big decisions for that Ireland team that has paid dividends and paid off for him. So that's what Steve's going to have to do in this week off, in this down period. He's going to have to make some really, really tough decisions. Ellis Genge, one of his boys, one of our boys, like we love Genji.
Yep.
You know, that was a performance that doesn't need me to pass judgment and say, Genji will know. Nowhere near the level we've seen Genji. Maro Itoje, okay, former teammate of mine, 100th game, the emotion, looks fucked. There's no other way of putting it. And it's not fair in a way. It's like if there's stuff that's going on off the field, which we know there's stuff in his private life which has kind of had an effect. His injury, he's played more test minutes than any player in world rugby. Bowden Barrett's the second. Maro Itoje in the second row is like 14 more test matches than Bowden Barrett. Check that.
Good stat.
That's a great start.
But with Maro Itoje, he was the barometer of players in the Northern Hemisphere. And that's the worry for Steve, is that your key players, not just George Ford, not just Maro Itoje, but you've got then Ellis Genge. Cowan Dickey gets yanked off.
Yep.
You fall back, you're having to take off at 39 minutes after being sin-binned. Yeah, it's crazy how quickly it can turn around. Because we were sat here 3 weeks ago saying that England, France are the teams.
One of the big things, sorry, one of the big things and the big worry is where an area where we've regressed massively is defensively. So we've conceded, I think it's 73 points in 2 games. and we've had 4 or 5 different defensive coaches over Steve Borthwick's tenure. So you get a different voice. It's now Richard Wigglesworth as the defence coach, and he's got Byron McGuigan as his assistant. But Richard Wigglesworth has got to take a massive amount of responsibility. Our defence was porous, and you judge a team on their work rate and their ethics around getting after the ball, getting after tackles, being working to realign, and the effort and desire that goes into that. You can see whether a team's on it or not, and it was nowhere near where England needed to be. It was non-existent at times, as you said.
It wasn't even like systematic or systemic or however you want to talk about a system or however you profile that. It's the one-on-one tackles. I was shocked seeing how dominant Ireland were in the collision. And we know that that's in there, but you're up against England, one of the best teams in the world, so that shouldn't really happen. Then also, Jameson Gibson Park getting man of the match, right? And that is because the forwards were so dominant on the front foot. And that's where, if you think about Ireland 2 years ago, World Cup, when they were so good leading into that, it was the front foot ball, and it was Jameson Gibson Park who was the man. It was Anton Dupont, the best scrum half in the world, then Jameson Gibson Park, and he hasn't been at that level because he's not been allowed to. So the fact that he's got man of the match, and then Jack Crowley's on the front foot as well, and you saw his performance. It was awesome from Ireland. We're being negative on England, but it was awesome.
It was amazing from Ireland. But what I actually found really interesting was going back through just different reports and stuff, was Steve Borthwick came out, and he's not a guy who tends to be overly confident either, but I think before the tournament he was kind of encouraging England fans to book their tickets on the Eurostar for the the game in France. So it's really interesting to see how quickly that's fallen apart.
That's a brave call.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if they want to book those tickets.
No, I mean,
I did hear something him saying that.
Yeah. It's still going to be a Grand Slam decider, just not for England.
Yeah, very true.
That's true.
Unless Scotland can do something about it at Murrayfield. But yeah, I mean, we actually wanted him to be more positive and talk in that way, and he's got some stuff wrong. He also said that 2 weeks ago everyone was saying England are the best team in the world. No one said that because that's
just you.
South Africa or France. We were in the top bracket. I've never said England are the best team in the world, but he's now saying we're also not the worst team in the world. So it's don't get too excited. It's a classic sport thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get excited when a team goes on a run. It's like the Ireland fans now. They've got
we're
that
so back.
Yeah, you're back, and
We're so back.
You've got to
back.
You've got to then back it up against Wales and then Scotland in round 5, and I'm sure they will.
Yep.
But it's amazing what sport can do in a week, how quickly things can turn. Start of the Six Nations, we were talking about Gregor Townsend, and if he doesn't beat England and if he doesn't back it up, where are they going? Is he potentially out of a job? No one was saying, Steve Borthwick, if you lose 4 games, you could be out of a job, because we're all talking about what's happened previously over the last year, and now there's pressure. We've never lost to Italy as a country. I know Ireland have.
Oh,
Scotland and Jim definitely have. But
consistently.
England have never lost to Italy, and that's a very serious possibility next week.
Are you nervous? About
Yeah.
They're favourites, I think, in Rome.
I do find it interesting in rugby where Steve's lost 2 games on the spin. I know the manner hasn't been great, and even if he loses 3, that people are saying that
you lose to Italy, your
can
job's
be sacked.
untenable.
Do you reckon it's that quick in rugby?
Mate, look what New Zealand have done to Scott
Would
Robertson.
the RFU sack Steve after
No.
what they went through with Eddie Jones?
I don't think they would, and it's the only person. You've got to look for someone else to replace them as part of that thought process, and there isn't many out there. Warren Gatland's looking for a few jobs left, right, and centre.
Rog?
Would the time,
Would
would you have time to get
Before
rid
the
of the
World Cup?
scars before the World Cup?
When did Razzie take over the job for South Africa in 2019?
18 months out? A year
18
out?
months out from it. So at the same time
That's
as now.
Razzie though, isn't it? Like there's not many.
New Zealand have only done it 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Right, to Scott Robertson. So it's possible.
It is, I think so.
Like, I'm not advocating. If England lose to Italy and then get hammered by France, I think his job is untenable.
That's the players saying, we want to change, I'd say. If you're losing
What do you
all of
think,
those
Steve?
games.
You've been in teams before.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to get a different perspective on Steve Borthwick if he loses them games.
Inspirational, or?
Just looking from the outside, wouldn't strike me as the most inspiring guy. Very, data-driven. I don't know if that would be very motivating when you're in a rut. When it's going well, you can see how guys might get in behind it and see you'd have the results to back it. But it doesn't just, not him alone, not being inspired, but the way they play, so kick heavy, and, I just don't know if they'll be able to turn it around in such a short space of time. or you could have a fresh face, fresh ideas come in. That could get the energy going quickly before the World Cup. But I think if you're on a really good trajectory and then, boom, there's a big crash and it seems like it's unravelling the way we're seeing it unravel, I think it'll be a very tough job. I hope he stays in the job until
But you
the
could see
World
a
Cup.
change
But I
happening.
could definitely see a change.
When you say you hope, is that
That's as an Irishman.
I've had
Keep
so many
going,
people-
Steve. Keep going.
I've had,
Nice.
mate, I've had so many people say that to me as an Irish fan or a Scots
Yeah, yeah,
fan.
yeah.
Love
Keep,
to see him stay.
keep Steve in the
Yeah,
job.
give him
Yeah.
a 3-year contract, please.
Lock him in. But I suppose who then in that England squad is going to be the person, or a couple of people that are going to inspire this team now? Like who?
You need Finn Smith at 10.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Who was the catalyst to changing our fortunes after we got smashed by Ireland at the Aviva last year in the round 1 of the Six Nations. George Furbank at fullback. I think it depends on Alex Mitchell's fitness, because I think he's a great player, but he has been underperforming in the 2 weeks. I think Ben Spencer needs a shot, who has been the best 9 with Alex Mitchell in the Premiership for 2 or 3 years, and Prem form and league form doesn't necessarily translate to great international, but he's not been given a chance, so we don't know. He's never started a Six Nations game, and now that you look at the league table, the Six Nations are gone for England. So in these next 2 games, I look at it: is Steve safe in his job from what the RFU are telling him, so he can take risks with selection and try things, or is he just trying to keep his job and he'll go back to the same old? We just need to get a win against Italy,
Same plan.
Good point.
which is a mindset that no England fan wants, just trying to get a win over Italy to keep your job.
But do you think that Steve is going to make all these changes?
No.
Like, I don't
He'll
see
have to make
him.
a few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to make a couple,
It wouldn't
for
surprise me
sure.
if he keeps George Ford at 10, which anyone in the world can see he's not the right man.
Yeah.
100 odd caps. There was no leadership. There was no change of game plan. There was no looking to play out the back and find space.
He just lost. You could just see how he just continued to lose confidence in himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's happened a lot in big games.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful player on the front foot, but unfortunately, trying to change a game plan, trying to see the bigger picture, he's failed 2 weeks on the spin. So we need to see Finn Smith back in the 10 jersey, and I'm hopeful that will happen. And then, but you're right, when your team is failing, the discipline was shocking. The first Jameson Gibson Park try comes from Tom Curry, who we all can say is a world-class player and has been. Just flies in at the side and gives the
When their
stupid penalty
numbers
away.
up,
Yeah.
And then they let go of the ball and quick tap and it's a try. It was schoolboy stuff at
Yeah,
times.
it's the same for Tommy O'Brien's try down the edge. They were numbered up 6v6, you know. It's
Dingwall steps in and
yeah, crazy stuff. And Freddie Stewart back protecting the backfield with the full-backs right next to you. Like, they're just all over the shop. There's no consistency in their setups or attitudes in defence. It's bizarre. Someone like Owen Farrell. I'm a big fan of Owen Farrell. Get him back in there.
Would you bring him back?
Yeah, I think if you're going to play the way like Steve likes to play, Owen's better probably than George at that style. But also I think the standards he'd hold them to. Like, George can't give out to the forwards about tackling, or about getting off the line,
That's very true,
or
yeah,
things
geez.
like that. But you have someone who's a leader and who you will not accept that. I think, he would have a big impact, straight away.
'Cause if you
anyway, how good were Ireland?
I was just going to say, because Jack Crowley, he was pretty comfortable giving out to a couple of players on Saturday. Like, I mean,
He went after his teammate Lockman, didn't he?
he did.
Yeah.
The only one he was brave enough to.
I know, but like that.
Nobody
how
else,
good? No, nobody else. But like, how good? And Jim, I know I was listening to your podcast, and you were obviously talking about do the issues run deeper than 10? Is that just kind of where Ireland masking a lot of things? Do you think maybe after the game on Saturday that question's been answered now, or is there still a lot more going on?
Well, they weren't tested, Ireland, were they?
No.
And you can't base it on that, whereas Sam has been under a lot of pressure because Ireland as a team have been under pressure. But I can probably say that I feel like Jack is the right guy now to go forward. I think Sam's had enough opportunities to show what he can do, and Big Faz is protecting him now, not having him in the squad. And, I think everyone's pushing towards Jack Crowley coming in, and maybe Faz having to shift the way that he plays and how he wants the team set up to fit in with Jack. And that moment where we saw him getting stuck into Lockman, I really enjoyed, because that makes you see a confident 10 who's running the show and be like, I'm the quarterback, this is my team,
Yeah.
and this is what I'm expecting you to do. So to have the confidence to do that, and it was only a snapshot, right? But there was so much more for Jack. They were on the front foot, all the things that we've just mentioned. Jameson Gibson Park was fizzing around the breakdowns, and everything was in front of him. I have changed my kind of views on how Tens interact and with their players, but also they're desperate. Ireland were desperate how they went about their business. Like Jack is desperate, want to cement his position at 10, but also to his teammates, like, I'm running the show. Like, that's not good enough. Well, whatever the situation was, whether it was the carry, whether or not it was positionally.
I remember the play, and I think it was when Jeremy was thinking about his options, and he got hit man and ball pretty hard, tried to offload it going backwards, and it went forward, blah, blah, blah. But I know Jack will have been saying, I told you to just carry the ball hard, set it up for us. And Jez, it's unfortunate for him, but yeah, it's learning, and that's what you want from your 10, to show that level of, I suppose, passion, and the game plan comes first, not someone's individual, going off track. And he drives standards, and he's a man in form. But as you were saying, I don't think it's like a slight on Sam.
I suppose even Ireland overall, like compared to where we were in Paris, I think they fixed the platform almost in front of them. So, like you said, they weren't really tested on Saturday. But I think probably going forward now, it's Jack's jersey.
He the man.
For now, yeah. Like Sam was going to get another opportunity, but the form that he's been in, off the bench, as Jim was saying, and now starting and getting that result, and it's not necessarily all about his performance, but how he makes everybody around him play and his time on the ball. He's just releasing it at the right times, allowing lads come onto the ball at pace, and that's what we were lacking. We have all the game plan and shapes in the world, but if lads don't come onto the ball with pace, or if everybody's not a threat, the system breaks down and it looks terrible to watch. Like, it's so copy and paste and, rinse and repeat. But when it's done with the pace and an attitude, my goodness, it is very hard to defend and very hard to stop.
It also shows you the importance of a 12 for Ireland, with Bundy Aki back in the day, gain line, that just out-and-out physicality. And then you see Stu McCluskey's performance and the difference, a 12 in that system. I don't know,
It's
I'm
massive,
not smart enough.
massive.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to understand the dynamics of it. But maybe it's no coincidence that he plays like that, 15 carries, all of them dominant, and Ireland play like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's huge.
All right, I think just before we maybe move off the Ireland-England game at the weekend, we've got a couple of tweets from you, I think. Andy, do you want to talk us through this one? Guinness and
Heavy-handed.
blackcurrant everywhere at Twickenham today, England by 12.
Yeah, I don't remember that being me, to be honest.
4 roses.
If it's Guinness and blackcurrant, it's definitely me. And I got my numbers confused, so maybe the blackcurrant, there's too much sugar in the system. So
Right.
I know when Gooley's had a drink because he becomes heavy-handed on social media.
Emojis.
I love
So I said England by 12, okay, but I got my numbers confused. I meant Ireland by 21. But I won't apologise for the blackcurrant and the Guinness. I won't do it.
No, we won't bring that up again, I don't think. I think we gave you enough.
Zeebs loves it as well. So.
Yeah.
Gee, does not.
No way. Oh, my
I think
goodness.
do we have another one? We have a lovely other one. Oh, what's this now?
Oh, this one here, I can tell you what this one is.
Oh yeah, please do. Talk me through this one.
So I can just read out Gooley's tweet. You can probably see it. Belting day ahead up in Edinburgh. The sun is out, and I can see England winning by 10 points at least. And then he tags me,
of course,
right? Because obviously I'm a Scottish legend. And he says, I will be English again, which is the quarter in me. And after the game, he wouldn't answer his phone. So
Battery died.
I
Yeah.
went out
Genius.
to
still
the
ringing,
masses in social media, said answer phone, didn't hear anything of him. And then randomly, maybe not randomly, because we were both working in Wales the next day for the Wales-France game, bumped into him in the street, didn't I?
Of course you did.
Yeah.
How was that?
Painful.
I was happy.
Painful.
Yeah, I was.
Hard work. Listen, I apologised and I said congratulations to all the Scotland fans for winning their cup final.
It is funny though, isn't it, on social media, because you make a prediction, right, and everyone's like, you idiot.
Yep.
And it's like, well, I didn't know I was going to go. I'm just putting myself out there. But you're happy to
But I'll put it out
be
there.
loose-fingered.
I was back in England.
You did.
They've let me down, and now
Are you going to continue to tweet now ahead of games?
I will.
Italy.
Oh, he will.
Italy by 10.
Give him a no,
Italy
I'm
by
there.
10. I'm going to flip it now and back the opposition in the hope that England.
Oh, you're going to try and jinx it?
Yeah.
proven wrong and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't mind being proven wrong.
Give us your
I-
Italy
I-
prediction straight away,
go on.
please.
Italy by 10.
Actually,
Yes, I think so
okay.
too.
Because I think if I was to pull up another clip, do we have about how Obviously, Italy's win over Scotland now looks huge. And I think, Zeebs, you gave a prediction the last time.
It's the thing. So you can see Scotland beating England potentially, and then losing to Wales.
I knew
Next
it.
Or
second
Italy,
wave.
like they did last year.
yeah.
It's actually crazy.
I forgot about the
Yeah,
Italy
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Let's
For a
just leave
team
it.
as talented as
100%.
that, to not
They-
have any consistency
there's
throughout
a
a
mental-
5-game tournament, it's crazy. Yeah, I wasn't surprised, really. Italy have come a long way, and, you know, they're a big threat, and they have some star power there, and more so Scotland taking the eye off the ball and not being consistent enough. There's no, you know, history or evidence, you know, to point out differently, and I think, yeah, they're great for the Calcutta World Cup final, but other than that, you know.
The Calcutta World Cup. I'm stealing that.
How you
But
feeling
other than
about
that, I just don't see the levels there, so I'm delighted Italy are on the up, but yeah, Scotland, kind of pains me to say it, but it is the case of same old.
Same old for Scotland. Did you not say it was going to be their year this year?
No, I got pushed on
year.
it. Christina.
year.
I got pushed on it, and I was reluctant to say it because of what we've seen in the past and what we've seen this championship so far. And we kind of joked, and that is normally my line: lose to Italy, probably beat England, lose to Wales, and we nearly got beat by Wales, who, let's be honest, have been as poor a Tier 1 Test team as we've seen ever in some of their performances. And that's harsh, but that is the reality. And they were miles better against Scotland emotionally. Maybe it was a game that they feel, with the history they've got against Scotland, that is a game that they could win, or a game that they could target. The positives for Scotland out of that is that they beat Wales just. Finn Russell, if we didn't have him, like you've mentioned,
My goodness, yeah.
it's different.
Without Finn, they lose that game.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and that's the worry for me, and that's why, you know, Zeeb's sitting there smiling, because that is the case. If you, the history will tell you. It doesn't need me or, you know, us to laugh about it, or me to be confused and disappointed by Scotland's lack of results in the Six Nations. It's there for all to see. But maybe, just maybe, the fact that we've gone back-to-back games and we got through that Welsh game with a victory has given us a slightly different lens on how the next two games could unfold, because the next two games are the hardest two games. We keep talking about Italy. Like, Italy look better, but they ain't winning games.
They're not winning
They beat
games.
Scotland.
They beat Scotland.
Beat Scotland.
Yes.
Could have beaten Ireland.
In the rain.
And
Well-
potentially should have beaten Ireland.
But they didn't.
Yeah, so like they're there, you know.
But they're not
Never
getting
beaten
flustered
England.
anymore. Like, they're really,
No.
like, they've stepped up. Like, they're
Yeah.
proving they could be physical for 60+ minutes now. Like, it's, you know, the leadership is there. It's like they are
They
exciting.
look completely different. Italy
Yeah.
look different, and I kind of say it the second from bottom still, the championship. Wales win, then they're bottom, and that's England. Anyway, but from Italy, really powerful scrum.
Yep.
World-class centres. I know Ignacio Brex and Thomas Manicelli, we haven't seen much of them because Brex has been injured. Kapawutsu's now injured, unfortunately. Looked like a bad shoulder
Pani was
injury.
going really well though.
Yeah.
My goodness, he was ripping.
Yeah.
Class.
So,
Louis
that's what-
Liner has been outstanding.
Yeah,
apart from his
yeah.
discipline, but he's
Yeah.
been great. The Canoni brothers as well.
yeah.
So they have now got world class, and I throw that name around a lot, but they've got world class athletes. But they've got to win. You know, until we can sit here and say, oh, because every time Italy are better, Italy are good. Yeah, they are. They're better. And that Scotland game.
Yeah,
It was a
it's
washout.
kind
It
of
was a
like what we
washout.
say about
You can't-
Scotland, you know. until they win or prove otherwise,
That's what it
there's always going to be those question marks. And it's kind of like Ireland's form before the tournament. They're the ones who have to perform and change the perceptions. So until Italy and Scotland start fronting up consistently and winning games in the 5-game tournament, then they'll always
He's smiling about it. I'll tell you the thing about Italy, though, watching them play against France and against Ireland and in round 1 against Scotland, the shape in their attack and their precision at times, you know, when you've got Menoncello making breaks at the outside, the actual cohesion that they do show is way above and beyond anything they've shown before.
For sure.
And I'm looking at the way they attacked against France at times with the ambition and the organisation around it, and I'm like, I wish England could attack like that.
Yeah, it's class.
Which is saying something about Italy, where they're at, and how low England have stooped to in terms of their attacking game. So this game for England over in Rome is the biggest chance for Italy to beat England. They've never done it, and it's going to be massively difficult for England off the back of 2 woeful performances. But Italy they only need something like that to beat an England team, and they, as Razzie said back in the day, could win it.
I think Italy are big favourites for that game, actually. I'm not joking. Big favourites.
Big favourites.
Big favourites
Bookies
for that.
don't have them as favourites.
I'm going to go for
It's
a draw.
sold out.
You're going. Mark my words.